All right, guys, appreciate everybody coming. We've had some really good bowl preparation. I think our players have really embraced the practices really well. It's helped us with the young guys a lot. Our freshmen, we've gotten a lot of extra practice in with those guys, so it's kind of been like an extra spring practice, especially for the redshirt freshman quarterbacks that we've been working with. So we started Sunday focusing on Utah State, and that's off to a great start. We'll practice through Thursday, and then give our guys a couple of days off, and then they'll be back here for a practice on the morning of the 26th, and then we will leave from there to go to the bowl. So, and then we have signing day tomorrow. So that's another thing that's going on right now with recruiting, the early signing period. So we're looking forward to that also. So any questions?
You've watched some film on Utah State. Is there a team that you played this season that kind of looks like Utah State on film?
I would say defensively they're very similar to South Alabama, very athletic, a lot of team speed on defense, have a really good blitz package and really well coached. Offensively, very similar to Arkansas State and teams like that. We play same style, spread offense, do a great job of running the football, very athletic quarterback, and they play a really high tempo, really up tempo on offense. So our defense is going to have to really get the call in fast, get lined up, and don't get cut off guard because they will speed the tempo up on you.
What's their front seven like?
I think they're really strong, very physical, and I think they run very well. And they base out of the 3-4 defense, so it's more linebackers than it is D linemen. We've faced a lot of 3-4 teams this year. That seems to be the way defenses are trending in college football. So, hopefully we'll be well prepared.
Do they move that corner around or does he cover the other team's best player? Do you expect him to be on Jaleel?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be on Jaleel quite a bit. He's a very good player, has great skills, ball skills, but they do move him around. Occasionally see him play on an inside receiver, then an outside receiver. He can play safety corner. He really can play anywhere.
He hasn't done well against man teams, so I imagine that you are confident in receivers to get open.
Yeah, we like playing against man coverage. Now, I will say this, Utah State does a better job of mixing that up than most teams we play. You don't catch them in man coverage unless they just want to play it. They play a lot of zone pressures and things like that and different style of zone pressures too. It could be a one high set or a two high. So they do a good job of mixing their coverages up.
Having Larry and Tyler, do you suspect that Utah State will focus on taking away the pass or taking away the run?
Well, we've been a passing team, and that's obviously what we've done. So I think everybody that plays us starts trying to get pressure on the quarterback and trying to eliminate the passing game. But we feel like we're very capable of running the football when we choose to run it, and it's important that we run it effectively, especially in a game like this where you're going to play a really good front seven and guys that can pressure the quarterback because they bring a lot of different looks. So it's important that we get Larry off to a good start.
Who gets the quarterback for them? Is it the linebackers?
Yeah, it's a lot of the linebackers, just the pressures that they bring. They do a great job of creating one-on-ones because of the pressure and then working on your weakness. But it could be a corner blitz from the boundary. It's safeties coming. It's really a wide variety of pressures that you have to be really equipped for and prepared for. And we've done pretty good preparing for those things, and I think we've handled that well most of the time. But this is going to be another extreme version of it. So we've got to have some good preparation to get ready for this game.
Matt Wells is kind of built off of what Gary Anderson kind of put there at Utah State. They struggled for a long time. Gary Anderson kind of brought that program kind of to where it is, and Matt Wells just built on it. Can you just talk about how their program has come along in the last 20 years and how it kind of compares to what you've done here at New Mexico State?
Well, I think when you look at what they've done, their university has invested in the football program. When you look from a facility standpoint of what they built there and the coaches' salaries, which we are light years behind here of taking care of our coaches the way we should. The reason they've been able to keep coaches there is because they're taking care of them. And continuity is what has made their program good. As you said, Gary Anderson was there for a while. Matt Wells has been there for a long while. They don't have a lot of assistants coming and going. That's really important, and it's yet to be seen if our university is going to get that done. I hope they do, because we need to keep this coaching staff here. But the facility thing is really important, that they've given their program what it needs to succeed. And their universities reap the benefits for that. They get a lot of publicity going to bowl games. I think 4 out of the last 5 years they've been in bowl games. And I would guarantee you their enrollment has probably increased during that time. That's what happens with these programs when that occurs. So they are a model for what we would like to look like. We're not close to that right now, honestly, but we'd like to get there to where we're winning that consistently and providing those things for our university, because I think football here can be a great tool to help this university grow, enrollment-wise, publicity-wise. We've given a lot of free advertisement to this university on ESPN so far just through the bowl season, and that's important so that our university can take advantage of that and increase our value in a lot of different ways.
You guys are one of the later bowl games. Like, what kind of challenge has that been in practice, and do you think that there'll be like a couple series to knock some rust off? Or?
Yeah, you know what? That's the concern, Jason, is the timing, particularly for a passing team like us, that you carry over the timing of it. But I was really encouraged. We gave our team a week off during finals. We didn't practice at all during finals, and when they came back out, man, I've never been around a group that has enjoyed practicing more than this group for the bowl game. So they're really excited about it, and they practiced hard. It's been very intense practices. We've had to rein them back in a little bit, to be honest with you. It's gotten a little bit too physical and too out of hand a couple of times. So that's been a good thing to have to deal with. So I'd like to think that our guys are going to be ready for this. I think a lot of it depends on, they're going to go home for a couple of days. They'll be back on the 26th. So those practices right before the bowl are going to be really important for us to get our timing back. We'll have one here and then 2 over in Tucson. So, I like how the bowl has set up the practice schedule for us. They're in the mornings. So that's great because you can get the players up, get the practices done, then they have the rest of the day to enjoy themselves. But I think that'll really help us get their attention also. And, we do a lot of good-on-good work in our practices, a lot of first team versus first team. So I think that helps us with the tempo and keeping our timing and keeping our edge. And we're going to carry that all the way through to the game.
You had a couple marathon road stretches this season. Do you think all that experience playing on the road game after game after game gives the players any advantage at being in a different stadium?
Well, that's a great point. I think it does. I think it helps that we've gone through that. I think I saw somewhere where there's only 2 teams that only played 5 home games and no FCS opponent and made it to a bowl game, and it's us and Navy. So that is a long stretch, and our guys have handled the road really well. We've got a really mature group, and our senior class has been great leaders. So, I think that'll help. I think it's the distractions of the bowl. You have different events you're going to be going to and things like that. So that's what our players have to be able to handle that they haven't had to do before. And hopefully it'll be something we have to handle each year.
Can you talk a little bit about Utah State's running backs? They're led by Hunt, but they also have Bright and Miller in the backfield. Can you just talk about what each back brings to the table?
Yeah, I think they're all very similar. They are powerful runners. They really run strong, and I think that's kind of symbolic of their whole team. You can tell they put a lot into the strength and conditioning program, and their whole team just looks physically strong. So I think the runners are downhill guys. They can make you miss in the open field, much like Larry Rose, who we have, but I think they are very physical players.
Can you talk about your recruiting class? Like, what did you want to get out of it? I think there's 12 commitments. Is that what you expect to sign tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we'll sign, probably tomorrow we'll sign anywhere from 10 to 11 in this class. We have maybe one that'll wait till February. It's not because of anything other than parents in the military and can't get back to sign it until the February deal. But I think we've done really well, Jason. We were behind, honestly, going into this because of the contract situation, the different things that we went through this year kind of put us behind the 8 ball a little bit. But I think our coaches did a great job of catching up, and the bowl certainly has helped us catch up. And I think we have really some great prospects coming in here. January 12th is another weekend for us, and we'll have a couple of mid-year guys coming at that time that could still be here for spring ball. So I think we'll be able to add to that list a little bit more too. But defense is still a priority for us. Defensive back especially. We've got to get some guys back there that can really help us. We need more depth. We need more playmakers back there. So that was a priority. Offensive and defensive line was a priority in this, and I think we're off to a great start on both sides of the ball for that.
The JC players, it seemed like the last couple of years just to build on what you did with the high school guys, you've been able to go to JC run a little bit more than you did the first few years.
Yeah, well, us being able to fix the APR score here was big too. We couldn't really recruit junior colleges early on because of the lack of an APR score and success here. But since we have now, fixed that here, and our staff's done a great job with that, it's enabled us to recruit a few more junior college players than what we did. Now, we still are very selective about who we take junior college-wise. We like to have the mid-year guys because they're normally better students. But we'll take a couple maybe in May. But then again, those are not really – we're not basing our recruiting on junior college. We're trying to fill immediate needs with the junior college and then keep recruiting the high schools and keep developing players. And then a lot of the junior college guys we're taking have 3 years instead of the normal 2 that junior college guys have. So that helps us also.
How many scholarships do you have, with this December and February?
Yeah, the total, we could sign 21 in this class, and that will put us back to the 85 number, for the first time. We were just below that this year, so that should get us back to it.
What does the Warren Woodson curse mean to you? If you
I've heard that. I've never paid much attention to that. I don't, I have a great relationship with Charlie Johnson. I know he thinks the world of Warren Woodson and loved him here. I know the guy was a great coach. I know that, and he's done things that have never been done here before. And I'm sure Coach Woodson, left a legacy here of building a great program and having great players, and I'm sure he'd be pleased with what's happened right now too. So I don't know that I buy in for the curse thing. I think mismanagement for a long time is what has happened to this football program, and I don't know that there's been a head coach and a staff that has really wanted to be here and wanted to build a program. I think the staffs that have come in here have been looking for a quick fix, looking for the next job. And I think that's been different, that myself and our staff wants to be here and wants to build something. And so that's the next step. Losing causes problems and winning causes problems too. They're just different problems. Now the problem is, what are we going to do to create the continuity with the staff, like I mentioned earlier, that we need. That's the next step here. We've got to step up and take care of our coaches.
The last time we were in this room, you talked about building a program similar to what Bill Snyder's done at Kansas State. That he's obviously taken a lot of JC players over the years, but he's also been able to spot 3-star guys that played way above their stars. How do you think your assistants have done in that?
I think that's what we do best is evaluating talent. When you look at Larry Rose was not highly recruited. Jaleel Scott, we were about Jaleel's only offer. So, I think our staff does a really good job of, we trust our own evaluation. We don't wait to see what everybody else is doing. And then the strength program we have here and the way we've developed those players, I think is huge. And I think that's what Coach Snyder does at Kansas State better than anybody in the country. I think he takes just what you're saying, the 2-star or the 3-star player, and he coaches them and develops them into a 4- and 5-star player. And I think he knows exactly what he wants for that program as far as a kid with toughness and maybe a little chip on their shoulder. And I just have the world of respect for him. Like I've said before, a lot of people have won at Auburn and Alabama and USC and all those places. There's only been one guy win at Kansas State. I don't know that those guys, that other coaches could go and do what he's done at Kansas State. So he's just a model to me. And I don't know him. I've met him one time, and he was very gracious to me and spent a lot of time talking with me. But I just think what he's done there is remarkable, and it's motivated me to try to get it done here.